Well, good morning to you. I hope you had a loving Valentine's Day. Quite frankly, literally and figuratively, I did not. And here's why. One of the best things about being in this business is it's never boring, and there's always changes from day to day. And then one of the most brutal things about this business is it's never boring and it changes from day to day. Let me tell you what I'm talking about by going back a couple years. Right around this time in 2020, everything was fantastic. Rates were low. We are getting into a refinance boom, and then all of a sudden, COVID hit, and there was a little bit of uncertainty about what was going to happen. People's jobs, which meant paying their their home mortgage. And what happened was FHFA decided they were going to do what's called loan level price adjustments. And everybody was upset about that. I'll get in explain what that means in a bit. But what it meant for us was that the rates weren't going to go down as low as we thought they were, and buying a house is going to be a little bit more expensive. Thankfully, it turned out great. 2020 ended up being a great year. And the rates were still really low, like the lowest that they'd ever been in history. So let's now move forward to the last quarter of 2022. As everybody knows who was paying attention, the interest rates shot up. And that last quarter, it was the time where the interest rates were not favorable. A lot of homes were staying on the market, and it became a buyer's market. And the phrase, and I love this phrase, and it was very true. It was marry the house, date the rate, and divorce the rent. Meaning, interest rates were going to eventually go down. It was a matter of if, it was a matter of when. And there's always an advantage to buying real estate. So there were people who needed to buy, and they bought in a high interest rate market. And it was about, well, you're going to have an opportunity to refinance in the future. And that was true all the way up until about a couple of weeks ago. And then I'm going to show you this. Bear with me here. This is Fannie. They released what's called a lender letter, and it was about the loan level price adjustments. And what that does is it affects what interest rate you get. And I'm just going to get specifically into interest rates, or why would they do this? Well, number one, you always follow the money. To be blunt, I think it's a money grab. There's an opportunity for them to make money just like they did in 2020. And the rates really, if you were paying attention in November, that second week in November, rates went down a lot. And they were going to do it again May 10th. And that's a very specific date. And that's because it was a core CPI number is coming out on May 10th. It comes out every month, and it's a lagging indicator. But anyway, rates are going to get really low again. When you're a lender, if you're Fannie and Freddie, you make your money on servicing the loan, meaning, collecting those mortgage payments over a long period of time. And if there's going to be a refinance, that means people are going to be jumping out as soon as the rates get low. And early payoffs are a bad thing as far as lenders are concerned. And for us, we actually have to pay back if somebody gets out of that loan earlier. So that's why they were doing. That's my true belief, and anybody who's in the business knows that's why it's happening, because they know if the rates continue to go down like they are, there's going to be a refi boom. So here's a loan level price adjustment, and this is there's price adjustments for debt to income, and there's all these variables, but specific to credit score, as of yesterday, 740 was as good as it got on a conventional loan, purchase or refinance. You're going to get the best rates if your credit score is 740 or above. As of May 1st, that is going to be going up. They're going to separate it into three different categories now, and this is quite similar to jumbo. Like jumbo loans have these demarcations in credit score. So it's 740 to 760, 760 to 779, and then 780 and above. So essentially now, what was 740, it's 780, and it's going to be brutal. What is it going to look like? Looking at the rates yesterday, they haven't come out yet today. If you're going to be purchasing a loan today off 30-year fixed, the interest rate is going to be somewhere between 6.375 and 6.5. With the price adjustments on May 1st. That means being delivered on May 1st, but on or before May 1st. Um, on or after May 1st. I'm sorry. It's going to be 6.5 to 6.625. So that's an eighth of a percentage point. Uh, Depending on the price of the house, that could be minor or it could be huge. Everybody varies on their pain point, but here's where it really hurts, and here's the refinance. This is what I was talking about. They're trying to discourage people from refinancing. Today, I'm sorry, yesterday, February 14th, it's saying 6.375 to 6.5. With those loan level price adjustments, that same interest rate in May is going to be 7.25 to 7.375. Now, again, remember, we were on track for May 10th to have another big drop. So this is no accident that it's May 1st. And it also coincides with the hot market. So that's going to be painful. And even the kick in the butt on top of that is a lot of lenders are starting to integrate these loan level price adjustments. I know of at least three. This is one. I scratched out the name of the lender to protect the innocent or the guilty. But you see that as of today, they're if you had to lock today, there's going to be loan level price adjustments. So as much as we were looking forward to those really favorable interest rates come May, it's not gonna be that. So if you have to refinance, like here's kind of a guide on the 30-year fixed rate as far as the on the buyer side. I'll get to the refinance in a second. We're going to be somewhere. We were headed towards this strong buyer demand. Now that's going to be dampened a little bit. There's going to, all those people that were sitting on the sideline in the fall, they're definitely going to get into the market, but I think there'll be less. So it'll be good buyer demand to maybe peek into that limited buyer demand, and it all is going to come down to credit score. And I kind of liken it to the 5 stages of grief. So this past June and July, when the rates started jumping up, it was denial, then it was anger, then it was bargaining, and then depression. And as of today, I think it's going to be all 5 of them at once, denial all the way to acceptance. We're going to have to accept the interest rates aren't going to get as low as we wanted them to. And everybody's going to be different about, their pain level of, all right, well, they were at 7, that they have gone down at least a percentage point. What's gonna motivate you to buy? And for me, I think if you're purchasing soon, I think it's a good time to start hunting while the getting is good. And before that spring, summer peak season, because not only are we not going to have the most favorable interest rates, everybody still has to buy homes who are moving, and they want to move in the summertime so the kids can get adjusted before school starts. So I think there's still going to be demand for houses in still a low inventory market. If you want to be purchasing and you can make the move now, I would do it. If you're going to wait till spring and summer, just work on your credit score. And as a broker, we have the ability to help you with that. We have what's called a score wizard, and we can, let's say you're at 720. We can look at it and say, hey, we can get you up to 740 or 760 or 780. If we can, we'll tell you that too. But it is advantageous to get that credit score up as high as possible, and we're more than willing to help. As I mentioned, with refinances, the opportunities, they will be more limited. Just because I just don't think we're going to see like 5s. We may, but the only way it's really going to make sense, other than working on your credit score, is debt consolidation. If you have credit cards that are over 6%, it's still worth looking into. And I have the software that can show you what the blended rate is between that high interest rate credit card and a home refinance that's going to be in the 6s or 7s. It still may make sense, but as I mentioned before, there is really no bad time to buy real estate, because you are buying a 6-figure asset that, as long as we have a shortage of inventory, it's going to be appreciating. conservatively 6%, but more closer to 8 to 10%, depending on where you live. And the whole marry the house, date the rate, divorce the rent is now marry the house, swipe left, and divorce the rent. Still, if you're renting, you're burning a lot of cash, and you can get into a home probably for the same amount you're renting for and get the tax deduction. So here's where we land: Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, Ohio, Illinois, North Carolina, Florida, Texas. And if you'd like me to do a score wizard for you, if you're thinking about buying, or if you want me to run some numbers on some debt consolidation, I'm here for you. So if this was helpful, feel free to like, share, follow, and subscribe. Have a fantastic day.